hey, I'm hungry, and as an excuse to go eat, I would like us to build more Legos. Who amongst you would take that challenge that hasn't actually done it yet? We'll start there. Oh, Brett wants to give it a go?
Yeah, I'm in.
Though I might say, I should probably go home at some
Oh,
point soon.
maybe
So,
I should drive Max
right.
home first.
Is probably the way I will get home.
Are you leaving then pretty quick?
Yeah.
Okay.
I need to be back here for a night watch.
That's fair. All right.
So then I will abstain, but I'll be in next time.
Yes, I believe we can make that work.
Yeah.
Is there anybody else who hasn't done it wanted to?
Volunteer as tribute.
Well, Logan, all right. That sounds good. Anybody want to read or build or do whatever? I mean, you volunteered first. You get to pick what you want to do.
Okay. I guess I'll read.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Hard
Interesting.
mode.
Do we
Roll on
have
hard mode.
Do we have the builder?
If nobody else volunteers.
All right, Matthews will build.
Matthews.
All right.
Excellent.
Oh, this is going to be.
Friendship ruiner. This will be excellent.
Excellent.
You might want to re-look at step 69.
Down and getting set up. I'll take this opportunity to head up for the night. See
Bye,
you,
Max.
see you
Thank you,
tomorrow,
Max.
Chet.
Bye, Max.
Hi, Max.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you
I
for being
drove
here.
this way
Yeah.
so I can take my stuff.
All right.
I apologize in advance.
No apologizing.
Where is the
Where is
performance
the
mic?
mic?
I got it. Hang on, I'm working on it.
Okay.
Ah.
Where are the instructions?
Over there.
Over where?
They're on top of the shelf.
Okay, I will sit.
Yeah. Don't worry. I believe Beej got you. I'm not sure, but. Aha.
Step 69, the weed number.
Yeah.
All right. We will do this for. I'll say we'll set this for about 30 minutes because starting at 4:30, we're gonna start the Steven Universe bag donation drive. But currently, you have an hour and 14 left to draw gemstonas of people on Zeta. You don't have to do everybody. You can just pick a few. And it looks like we have Kevin is already aimed, so Matthews is somewhat ready. Andre has already said that perhaps we need to double check
Step 69.
step 69.
Let
Nice.
us revisit step 69.
Okay, with that, I'm going to mute my mic and I'm going to go get something to eat. Thank you, everybody.
So, in step 69, we should have built what looks like 2 levels of flats with a red bit on top of it, a brick, and then another small 2 long flat on top of that.
Is the too long flat flush against the red brick assembly?
Yeah, it should just be right at the butt of the red bricks.
Is the red brick 2 by 5?
2 by 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's correct.
Then let's rock and roll.
All
Got
right.
it.
So, what you're going to want to find is a 2 by 1 flat,
What color?
blue, and
Got it.
a curve with 4 pips on the end.
A curve with 4 pips on the end.
It's sort of like a curve. It has,
Does it have a step on it?
yeah, step. Yes, yeah,
Okay.
it's stepped 1 to fit 1 brick,
Step to fit 1 brick.
or it is stepped. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So it's curved, and then it's 2 by 2. You said?
Yeah,
Okay.
or 2 by 1
2 by 1. Okay.
with filled.
Blast! I was all excited. Curved. Is the top a full curve, or are there pips?
On which? Sorry.
On this piece, does the top of the curve have pips?
Yeah.
Okay.
I should have 4 pips on the top.
Okay. So it's a 2 by 2.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Is a green bit attached to it in your diagram?
No.
Okay. Well, that's been remedied.
Okay. No more green bit.
No more green bit.
So, you're going to want to put the curved... So the curved has 4 anti-pips on the end of the curve, right? Like underneath?
Yes.
Okay, you're going to want to put that on the space where there's 4, on the blue protruding in front of the red blocks. And so the rest of it is sitting atop the red blocks.
Does it attach to the red block?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there a hollow space above that, the 2x1 that's flush with the red block?
Yeah, there should be 2 pips of red block left over.
Okay. Ah. Okay. What do I do with the 2x1, friend?
You're going to put that butting again, those 2 red pips that should still be showing.
Yes.
Cover those with 2x1.
Okay. Oh, no, That's interesting. And... Okay. And the blue bit goes on the exposed red, yes?
Yeah.
Excellent.
All right. So
One second.
that.
It's mildly fiddly. All right.
All right. So that's step 70 complete.
Awesome.
Moving to step 71. So you will need to gather. All of these are blue.
Okay.
A curve with a step curve with room for 1. Just like a 1x1 under it, or 1x1 brick. That's like a small step curve, as opposed to the big one we just used.
Okay. Is this shaped like a triangle?
It's the curve, and then just 1 step. So yeah, just the 1 triangle underneath.
Okay. So, but is the piece itself shaped like a quarter of a circle?
Yeah.
Okay. Sweet. Just one of those?
You'll also need one of those. It's should have 2 pips underneath. It's a right angle triangle, like little slider. It should be 2 pips.
Right angle.
Okay, sorry, that was complicated. So just like a little slat that's 2 pips long. It's just
By 1 pip wide,
yeah.
and this is a curve, yeah?
It's an angle.
Okay.
And
Okay.
you need one of those that's flushed with nothing on it, and one of those that has what were we calling a hollow pip on the top.
Huh. Let's see. One that's got a hollow pip on it?
Yeah.
Okay. How wide is this curve?
Or it's just an angle, and it's 2 pips. It's 2 pips long
2 pips long by
1 wide.
1 wide. Okay. And it is a curve, not a flat angle, correct?
Well, it's a flat angle.
Ah,
Sorry.
all right, sweet.
So there should be the 1 flat angle, and then the second one that's identical, except it has a hollow pip on top.
Okay. Let me make sure that that other piece is correct.
I feel like I should have been paying more attention to using correct nomenclature of previous
Nah, it's
people.
cool, man. Okay.
Okay, you'll also need a blue, looks like a cone, like a 1 pip cone.
A 1 pip cone.
Like it doesn't have a pip on top, but it's just 1 pip in size.
No, it's just a little fiddly to pick up. All right,
And then just one of those 1 pip caps.
1 pip cap. Gotcha.
Okay, so on the flat with the hollow pip on top,
Yes.
You're going to put the cap.
The cap and not the cone?
You're going to put the cap and then the cone on top of the cap.
That's exciting. Okay.
All right?
All right.
Okay. And so on our larger assembly, the cap cone flat, you're going to want to put that facing the curve on our larger assembly on the top.
All right. And should that fit flat against that curve?
Yeah.
Okay, one sec.
So the angle of the flat is towards the curve.
Okay. Let me make sure I got the correct piece because it's a little bit offset, the angle, so
Okay.
yeah, but that was the only one that fit your description, so. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
All right.
Next up.
And so the other angle we have,
Yes.
place it butting up against what you just put down, but facing the opposite direction.
Okay. So the flat of it goes up against the flat of that ramp?
Correct.
Okay.
Ramp. That's the word I was looking for. All right.
And is that supposed to be flat of that? Should that be flush with the ramp?
Yeah. The two ramps should meet, like basically reflecting each other.
Okay.
And then that curve piece we have there should be 4 pips just right behind that where that'll fit perfectly.
Pardon, 4?
Or sorry, 2 and 2 on the lower level.
Okay. And you said this piece is a triangle, yeah?
Well, it's a curve like a quarter of a circle.
Okay. And that's supposed to fit perfectly, you said?
It should.
That's interesting.
But Andre also told me that step 69 may have been fudged a little bit.
Well, So, how does that fit against it? Is it one of the flat sides of the triangle fitting against it?
Yeah, so the triangle opposite the curve of the quarter circle
Okay.
should be the curve should be directed opposite of the other curve we have.
So my problem right now is that I'm trying to put a curved round shape against a flat piece of that ramp.
Okay, there's not a space?
So is it
Because in total, the assembly should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pips long. Like the whole thing altogether.
okay? That checks out.
Okay.
But right now, just trying to fit on that triangle piece is giving me some trouble.
So it should be curve at the start. So reading from how do you have this oriented?
So right now I have the bottom of that ramp going towards the east,
Okay.
and that's where I have the ramped, the little assembly that we just did, what with the cone and the other little ramp piece. That's going up against the top of that ramp, pointing towards the west.
Okay, so starting at the most west point,
Okay.
it should be 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 block, like 4 spaces worth of curve. Then the little pointy assembly pointing westward. The second ramp pointing eastward.
Okay.
And then it should be that quarter circle curve coming in at the last point.
Okay, so the quarter circle is on the top step of blue or the bottom step of blue?
The bottom and like the bottom of it should connect and the top.
Okay, the bottom and the top.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm running into a bit of an issue because at that, those 2 last red pips that they attached,
Yeah.
those both have hollow pips pointing west. Is that correct?
Hollow pips pointing west.
Or should those?
No, those should be facing north and south.
Okay, then give me 1 second to reorient those, and we should be golden.
Beautiful.
Andre was not wrong when he said to check step 69.
Nice.
We're adults. Alright.
Maybe I just wanted to give us more reason to go back to step 69.
You would.
Nice.
Nice.
Alright. So, then what I've got is a ramp. It looks like a completed ramp, essentially, with that little cone and additional slope assembly that we put in between the 2.
Yeah, and there's no. Looking at it top down, there's no pip showing, correct?
There are the side hollow pips pointing north and south, but that is
But
it.
that's it. Okay, perfect. That's step 71.
Cool, cool, cool.
Moving on. So, you are going to want to get
I do want to get them.
2 1 pip flats. So like they are squares as opposed to caps,
Okay.
but they're just 1 pip.
And they're just straight flat, no pips? Or
They have a
pips?
pip, sorry.
Oh, awesome. How many of those?
2.
2.
And then you're also going to want to get 2 their curved triangular ramps
Okay.
that should have 3 pips on the bottom, or
Cool.
3 anti-pips, but be smooth on top.
Got him, got him.
Okay. So on the east side has the small ramp, correct? Like the shorter ramp.
Yes.
Okay. So on the eastmost red pips
Okay.
on either side, place the 1 pip squares,
Okay, and that's covering up the...
one on the north and one on the south.
Okay. 1 sec. Mildly fiddly. Huh. Alright.
This music is just like drilled into my head. Like I was making coffee earlier and just humming it to myself.
I was walking here humming it, so you're not alone.
Fair enough.
Though that does make me worry for both of our sanities. But here we are.
It's Zeta Shift. Sanity doesn't need not apply.
All right. What up next?
Okay, so on each of those 1 pip squares, you're going to want to place those triangular ramps but place it so the flat of them is facing. Sorry, I'm just trying to remember how this is oriented. So that it curves along the short curve, like the curves should line up.
Yeah. It's not perfect, but it fits pretty darn good. There's just a little bit of edge around it.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Can't really tell from the image, but I think that sounds about right.
All right. Perfect.
Perfect. That is step 72 complete.
Heck yeah.
Moving on to step 73. We are going to need what looks like it's a 2x2 square with
Okay.
hollow pips on the top and bottom. It's red.
Got it.
Okay. The same shape, but blue and with only one side having filled pips.
Got it.
And then what looks like two little. It's one piece, but it looks like two little grabby hands. It's red.
Got it.
Okay, so you're going to want to. The red piece? It's hollow on both sides, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so on one side of that, place the blue 2x2 square,
Okay.
and then into the hollow pips on the red, put the little pointed end of the grabby hands.
Okay. I have created a claw.
All right, beautiful. Now, you're going to want to flip that upside down.
Okay, so the blue is going to be facing the table, or the grabby hands are
The
facing
grabby hands will be facing the table.
Okay.
And then on the bottom of our assembly, there should be, so on the bottom, you see how there's a layer and then it notches up?
Yes.
So it's going to go on the bottommost layer,
Okay.
but the side that doesn't have the grabby hands is going to be flush with where it notches up.
Okay. So am I fitting that into the 2x2 space on the bottom, or the 4x2 space on the bottom?
The 4x2 space.
4x2. Okay. So that's going to be the end that we just put those triangular pieces on, correct?
It's in the middle. So you see that length, like right before it notches up?
Yes.
Put it so it's just making that notch bigger. Or like further down.
The grabby hands are definitely getting in the way.
Oh, no, sorry. The blue...
Okay, blue's going against blue.
Blue's going against blue, sorry.
Okay.
Should've
And
been
are
explicit.
the... So we're calling that end the west end.
Yeah. But not in the second stage of it. It's still on the bottommost flats.
Okay, it's in the bottommost flats, and
Yeah.
it's going on the west end of that.
Yeah, the west end is the end with the big ramp, right?
West end is the end with the small ramp.
Okay, so no, it's going to go on the east end.
Okay, excellent. And are the grabby hands
The grabby
facing
hands...
east or west?
The grabby hands will be on the west side of it.
Okay, so that's going. The grabby hands are on the end towards the
Closest to the west.
Closest to the west, towards the cone. Yeah.
Towards the cone. It should... From this, it looks like it's almost directly under the cone.
Okay. Hey, where's that knife? One sec. Alright, knife safety at Desert Bus. Don't do this at home.
Matthews, could I get you my ruler?
I've almost
It's like a
got it.
metal ruler?
Yeah, I have a metal ruler.
Yeah.
We're good.
Please don't cut yourself.
I didn't. We're good. All right.
You don't need to bleed for desert bus, as much as people tell you otherwise.
Okay, so on the bottom most layer of this assembly, there is a 2x2 section and what appears to be a 2x3 section. Is this going into the 2x2 or the 2x3?
2 by 3.
Because if this is supposed to be underneath the cone,
Yeah. So there should be. Oh yeah, 2 by 3.
okay, it's
2
going
by
into
3
the 2x3.
section. I see what you're saying now.
So is it going into the 2x3?
Yeah.
Excellent. All right, grabby hands aligned under cone. Everything's good. Nobody's bleeding. Everything's fine.
That's the most important prerequisite here, I think.
It's important.
It really doesn't help that I have that thing where I can't picture things in my mind.
Aphantasia?
Yes.
Okay.
All
That
right.
is assembled. What's up next?
This next one looks a little complicated.
Cool.
So, we're going to want to get a 2 by 2 blue square, or blue flat,
All
with
right.
pips.
What else?
2 1 by 2 ramps
2, 1 by
that are blue.
1, and...
And they have no pips on them. They're just-
Okay. Is the ramp going against the, how is the ramp facing? Is it the ramp wider than it is long, or is it longer than it is wide?
It's longer than it is wide.
Okay. And there are no pips on it, yeah?
There's no pips on it.
Okay.
And we need 2 of those.
We need 2 of those, you say? Oh. I think I may have figured out an error from before. So that's neat.
Pardon?
I think I accidentally used an incorrect piece when we were building that cone-ish assembly earlier. So,
Oh, because I guess I gave you the same description, but
yeah.
for the ones that were meant to be wider than they are long.
Okay. We're calling this one good. I like this one. This one's a nice piece. Probably not correct, but you know what? Here we are. We're moving on. Anyway. So I've got the ramps.
Okay, you've got the ramps and the flat.
Yes.
You're going to also need a ramp that is too long and has two 1 pip sides. They don't have pips, but 2 sides that sort of meet in the middle.
Got it.
All right. Then you're going to need 2 ramps that are each 1 pip. But they don't have a pip on them. They're just
They're just tiny flat ramps?
tiny little ramps, yeah.
Okay.
And they should. It looks like they have a little like curve drawing on them.
Yep.
Okay, beautiful. You're also going to need a 2 by 1 plank with pips.
Got it.
A 2 by 1 plank with hollow pips and side hollow pips that look like parallel with the other hollow pips.
So, are these hollow pips hanging below the top hollow pips, or are they above?
We
the
need
top?
one that's hanging above and one that's hanging below.
Okay, cool.
I feel I should also point out that Rec just built a bunch of stuff that might be goofing up valuable pieces.
Curse you, wreck.
You see the thing directly beneath the doubloon?
The thing with the flippers? That's not supposed to be together.
Yeah.
Or
Okay.
the blue and the red are not supposed to be on there. It should be only gray.
So we may need to cannibalize.
So yeah,
things.
some of those might be what you're looking for.
Just not the flippers. The flippers are important. You can take everything off the flippers.
The flippers,
Look, we
they
decided
do
last
nothing.
night bust the flippers.
I mean,
Alright.
Beej isn't here. Maybe I can fix them. I haven't looked at the directions
Since then,
ever, so I think I know where they go. I think I know how to fix them so they don't just fall off all the time.
We'll talk.
Yeah, we'll burn that
I
bridge when
think
we
you
get
can
to
only
it.
add them as an aesthetic topping at any point now.
I feel like it's
No, I know how to get it apart.
okay.
All right.
We also need
Okay.
the single pip blocks or single pip planks that
Okay.
have that are hollow on top and have a secondary hollow pip hanging off the side below.
How many of those?
2.
Okay. Got them both.
All right. So we're starting. Okay, on the bottom. This is a new assembly.
Okay.
The bottom is going to be the 2x2 plank with pips on top.
Okay.
Thank you, Mad Dog M.
And then facing west, you're going to want to put the 2x2 with pips hanging below.
Pardon, 2x2?
Or no, sorry, 2x1 rather.
Okay.
With the pips hanging below
Okay.
on top of that.
On top of that?
Yeah.
Okay.
On top of the piece you just placed, you're going to want to put the same piece but with the pips above.
Okay. So now I've got. Looking down, facing west, I've got 4 hollow pips on the west side, and looking down, it's just still a 4x2
Okay.
or 4x
Perfect.
or 2x2. Pardon me. Words are hard.
On the other side of that,
All right, east side.
yes, on the east side, you're going to want to put the single planks with the pips hanging below so that the side pips are oriented north and south.
Okay. And cool.
And then on top of that, you're going to want to put the 2x1 plank with the filled pips so that it completes the top there.
All right. Cool.
Okay. Now, on the west face that has the 4 hollow pips on the side,
Yes.
on the bottom, you're going to want to put both of the 1 pip ramps
Okay.
so that the ramps are facing north and south and the curves start at the middle, like the curve drawings start at the middle and go up outward.
Okay. And this is on the west side, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's actually on the side.
Okay. Awesome.
And
And,
then-
that forms a little triangle.
Yeah.
With what looks like angry eyebrows.
Yes.
Awesome. Cool.
And then above that, you want to put the thing that meets in the middle, the ramp that meets in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to want to put it so the tallest point of that ramp touches the tallest point of where those 2 little ramps
Gotcha.
meet.
Done and done.
And then on the north and south sides, we just have those long ramps remaining, correct?
Correct.
Okay. You're going to want to put those long ramps
Okay.
so that the lowest side of them is facing the side with where we've already placed stuff is west, correct?
Yes.
You're going to want it so that the lowest part of them is the westmost.
Okay. So
Westmost part.
okay. So the lowest part of that ramp goes up against what we just.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is on the north and the south side.
right. Sweet.
Then you're gonna take this whole assembly and the other assembly we have,
I've got them both.
and you're gonna place this assembly, connect it just under the long ramp of the old assembly.
Attaching to what?
Just on the bottom, the spot that's, how do I explain this? So on the west side of the old assembly, that has the long ramp, right?
It does now.
Okay.
I can rotate it.
And there should be 4 spaces on the bottom of that, and then the bit with the grabby arms, right?
Yes.
So those 4 spaces is where we'll put the top of our new assembly.
So there are no exposed pips on the top of the new assembly.
On the top of the new assembly.
Yeah, so that's where you had me put those 2 ramps.
Oh, sorry. The ramps that are longer than they are wide.
Yes.
Those are going on the north and the south sides. Sorry.
No worries, I got a knife.
No!
I've got a knife.
No!
We are here to extract you.
Knife.
I fixed the black background cloth.
How'd you
Was that a
manage that?
challenge?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Cool.
Thank you for pointing that out.
All right.
What was wrong with it?
It was making a gap.
Oh.
Hey, Beej,
Hey, Corey.
can I fix the flippers? I haven't looked at the directions.
Sure. Yes, please do that.
All right.
You have to do it on camera.
I'm doing it.
So many arms just come into frame.
Just one arm around each side.
Keep working on your,
All right.
your stuff. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
oh God. Fair.
Oops.
All right. So, Logan,
Yes.
where does that the piece that we just built? Where does that go?
Okay, so now that the ramps are on the north and the south of it,
Yes.
it should have 4 exposed on the top, correct?
This is going to be the end closest to the grabby hands, also known as the west end. Yes. So, is this butting up against the piece with the grabby hands?
Yes.
Awesome. Fiddly bits, fiddly bits. All right.
Okay.
Matthews, can you retract the blade on the box cutter, please? Thank you. This is for chat mostly.
Is chat worried?
Put away, chat.
Yes. Anytime the blade
We
is
did.
exposed and not being used, the chat is worried, and I will take care of that.
Keep
That's kind of
talking and
Beej.
nobody knife fight edition.
All right. So what's up next?
Okay, so we have those 2 assemblies are connected, correct?
Yes.
Okay, beautiful. So
Looks vaguely like a dreadnought.
that is step 74 complete.
Ooh.
Moving on to step 75.
Okay.
So this is a new assembly.
Ooh.
We are going to want to get a beige ramp. It looks like it's 3 long by 2 wide.
Got it. And it's got a wee step to it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got a 1 plank step.
Perfect.
What is that? A 2 by 2 gray plank with what looks like a handle on it.
Got it.
A 2 by 2 blue plank, plain.
Got it.
A 1 by 2 blue plank with hollow pips and the side pips hanging down.
The side pips are hanging down.
Yeah.
Got it.
A 2 by 1 beige plank with hollow pips and the side pips hanging up.
And this is beige.
Yeah. Or looks beige-ish. Is that beige?
Could it be pink?
It could be pink.
Okay. And the hollow pips on this one are facing up?
Yeah, and we need
Okay.
2 of those.
Those I've got.
Okay. And we also need 2 of the single pip planks that are red with a hollow pip on top and a side pip hanging up.
Okay, 1 and 2.
Okay. So, the base layer of this is going to be the 2 pinks. So let's have it so the pinks. How do I explain that? Actually, no. Let's start with the blue 2x2 plank.
All right.
On the bottom of that, you're going to want to put the gray 2x2 with a handle.
On the bottom of that blue.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Underneath that, you're going to want to place so if you orient the handle west, you're going to want to place the pink 2x2s on either side, so the side pips of the 2x2s are facing north and south.
Okay. Oh.
Okay.
Okay. Got it.
Okay, and on top of that whole assembly, you're going to want to place the beige curve,
Beige curve.
so that the 4 where it notches in and there's a spot for 4.
Yes.
That's going to be facing east away from the handle.
Got it.
Then you're going to want to put there. So there should be 2 spaces exposed on the curve, correct? On the
Yes.
underneath of the curve.
Yes.
On there, you're going to want to put the blue 2x1,
Okay.
so that the side notches on it are facing west.
The side notches are facing west.
Yeah. Well, or away, whichever way that is.
Okay.
That,
Handle is on west. Side.
side notches are east. Okay.
Sweet. And those are hanging down, just to double check.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And
okay.
then under that, you're going to want to put the 2 single red ones,
Uh-huh.
so their side pips are oriented north and south, like the pink ones.
Cool. And we are. Diddly good. And we're patched.
Alrighty, so that's step 75.
How many steps left on this page?
There is 1 step left on this page.
Let's do that one and we'll see where we're at.
Okay, sounds like a plan. So, I'm going to need you to gather. These have red on them. So, beige triangular ramps with a curve on them, and it looks like they have red on them.
Okay.
And you're going to need the two of them, but they're opposites.
Got it.
Okay. You're going to also need a 2x1 curve that has a 1 notch, like a 1 plank notch on them.
Okay. And that's got a step to it?
Yeah.
Sweet.
2x1. Or
Yep.
2, sorry, yeah. And 2 of those, sorry.
Cool. Got those.
You're going to need a 2x1 beige ramp that is wider than it is long.
Got it.
And 2 single 1 pip red planks.
1 and 2. Got it.
All right. So, how does this go together? Those single reds,
Uh-huh.
in the stepped parts of those curves,
Uh-huh.
put each of those single reds in each of the
Are they going in the top or the bottom step?
bottom step, or so that it would be flush,
Okay. Got it.
and then that assembly we just made with the pinks.
Yes.
Take that and flip it so the pinks are facing up.
Okay. Pinks are up.
Now, what side is the handle oriented to?
The handle is now facing east.
Okay. So take those ramps with the red in them
Yes.
and put them on the eastmost side blue pips so that the ramps are facing down.
Eastmost side blue pips.
Yeah. Next to, or they may be pink, it just shows blue here. Yeah, they should be pink. I don't know why it shows blue.
Thanks, Mega Blocks. Okay. And they're facing down, so they're facing the table.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the tallest part of the ramps is up,
Flush with the pink.
flush with the pink.
Okay.
And then those
And that's going to be happening on the north and south side.
north and south side, yes.
Okay. Cool.
Then those reflected triangular ramp, the reflected curved ramps with a bit of red on them. Put those on the north and south side so the red continues through.
Gotcha.
Okay. And that should leave a little notch, a little 2-pip notch at the front, correct?
And is that last little yellow bit going on those exposed blues?
That's correct.
Sweet.
Then,
So it's kind of forming a full ramp.
yeah.
Okay, cool.
Then you're going to take this upside down ramp that we have
Yes.
and connect it into the grabby hands so that it's facing, so that the lowest part of the ramp is facing the panel with the grumpy eyebrows on it.
Okay. Lowest part of the ramp.
Yeah.
So should this be able to flip over and sit flush with the angry eyebrows?
Yeah.
Okay, sweet.
All right, perfect. And that's step 76.
Shall we do? Is there how many left on that page?
The next page has 4 steps, and they are the last steps.
Let's go for it.
All
All
right.
right.
So, oh boy.
Promising.
You're gonna need a 2x4, not made of wood, red plank,
Got it.
a 2x2 blue plank,
Got it.
a 3x1 blue plank,
Got it.
a 2x1 blue plank,
Got it.
and a 2x2 plank, but half of it is covered in a speckled ramp.
Does it have like 2 blue splotches
Yeah,
on it?
two-
that looks
two
vaguely
darker
like an
splotches.
Yeah. All right. Sweet. Perfect.
So, you're going to want to put... So the base layer of this is a new assembly.
Okay.
The base layer of this assembly will have the 2x4 red plank
Okay.
oriented east-west.
All right. Got it.
And then on the westmost side, just flush up the 2x2 ramp so that the ramp is facing away from the red bit.
Okay, so the ramp is facing west. These are not connected in any way yet.
No, but they're
Okay.
just butting up against each
Perfect.
other. Then you're going to use the 2x2 blue plank
Uh-huh.
to connect them.
Okay. Cool.
Okay, and so this is oriented so the ramp is on the westmost side?
Yes.
Okay. You're going to take the 3x1 plank
Yes.
and cover the southmost. So the 3x1 is going to be oriented east-west and cover the southmost red pips.
Done.
Okay. Then,
Good confidence.
on the east side of the 2x2 blue,
Okay.
you're going to put the 1x2 blue plank so it's oriented north-south.
Okay.
All right. And that is step 77 complete.
Neat. Just to confirm, I should have 3 exposed red pips at this point.
Yes.
Cool, cool, cool.
Okay, so for step 78, we will need to find. How do I even describe that shape? It's like a beige rhombus that's one pip. It only has 1 pip on the bottom of it.
Got it.
Okay. A 1 pip blue plank.
How many of those rhombi should I have?
Just the 1.
Okay, cool. And just the single
1
by
pip
one?
blue plank. Yeah.
Excellent.
A 1x2 blue plank with filled in pips.
Got it.
A 1x2 blue plank with hollow pips.
Got it. And there, just to confirm, there's no side pips on this guy?
No.
Sweet.
A blue grabby hand.
Single blue grabby hand.
Yep. A 2x1 blue plank that has like a triangle cut out of it, or like it's got like a bit of a ramp on it.
Just a bit of a ramp?
Yeah.
Okay, so it has 1 exposed hollow pip and then bit of a ramp?
No, it has 2 full pips.
2.
And then a bit of a ramp.
Ah, gotcha. Whoop. Gotcha.
But we also do need that 1 exposed hollow pip and a bit of a ramp.
Sweet. All right.
And in addition to those pieces, we will also require a blue triangular curved ramp. 2 of them. That have 3 pips on the bottom.
So I'm really glad they disassembled what Rec did earlier.
Chaos.
Because those definitely were attached. All right.
Okay. So, how is this even assembled? Oh, here, there's sub-assemblies. So, oriented east to west,
Okay.
you're going to want to take the 2x1 plank,
Hollow or non-hollow?
non-hollow, or no, yeah, non-hollow,
Okay.
and the 2x1 plank with a hollow and a bit of a ramp on it.
Wait, hollow and a bit of a ramp?
Yeah. It just has 1 pip and a ramp.
Oh, yes. Okay.
And you're going to have it so it's flush with the ramp facing east. Or facing west, rather. And then 3 pips in a row.
Okay.
Then you're going to connect those 2 together using the 2x1 with the side ramp, oriented, the side ramp on the south side.
Side ramp, south side. And is the side ramp on that guy kind of overhanging this?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Okay, perfect.
Then there should just be 1 full pip exposed, correct?
There are 3.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Exposed on the lower level.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Had me worried there for a minute, man. Like we were doing
You're gonna take the rhombus
rhombus.
and you're going to fill that last pip so that the tip of the longest end of the rhombus touches the longest end of the side ramp of on the south side.
Pardon?
There we go.
Okay, so okay, so the side ramp is oriented south, right? Or is on the south side of this assembly, correct?
Yes.
And there's one pip on the lower level.
Yes.
So the rhombus has two short sides
Yes.
and then one side that's longer with an angle, correct?
Yes.
So the long angle side is going to be on the south.
So that's also the long side is also an overhang?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Excellent.
Alright.
Okay, so that sub-assembly is done. Then,
We do still have 4 remaining pieces.
yes, there's another sub-assembly, and then both of these sub-assemblies are going to connect to the last assembly we built.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so you're going to want to take the... It doesn't even connect. Why are they showing us?
I can hear you mumbling.
So take the 2x1 with hollow pips atop.
Yes.
In one of the hollow pips, you're going to put the one plank, the one blue plank.
Okay.
And how do you have this oriented?
I just attached that 1x1 on the east side, so I've got this going. The length is going east-west.
Okay, so there's one empty pip on the west side.
There's one empty pip on the east side.
On the east side, sorry.
Yes.
So you're gonna take the grabby hand and put it in that empty pip
Okay.
so that the sides, the open sides of the grabby hand are oriented north-south.
Okay. Bueno. What's up next?
Oh, that's how they connected. Never mind. Okay, I'm not going crazy. So take the assembly we built before this, not the sub-assembly, but like the last step with the red bits and the 3 exposed.
Okay.
Orient that so that the red is on the east. It's going east-west with the red on the east side.
Got it.
So take the piece with the rhombus on it
Rhombus?
and the sub-assembly with the rhombus and line the ramp on the lowest level of that. Line that up with the ramp with the speckles on it.
Okay.
So like the 2 ramps should sort of be flush.
And this is going on the red?
No, it's not connected. It's just going to be flush next to it.
Okay.
So those 2 ramps are on the same level and they're lined up,
Yes.
correct? Okay, take one of our triangular curves
Okay.
and use it to connect those 2 assemblies.
How, pray tell?
So there should be a 2 plank on the top that's stepped higher than the rest, correct?
Yes.
You're going to connect. You're going to put it on one of those. Like our triangle bit should be stepped 1 as well, right?
Yes.
Okay, so and it only has room for one square in the triangle, the top step of the triangle, correct?
Yeah. So the one that I've got, it's got 2 steps to it,
Okay.
and the top step closest to the 3 filled pips is a 1x3 space.
1x3. The curved?
Yes.
Okay, we need 2 identical curves that, because I think that we use this piece later. 2 identical curves that should only have room for 3 pips on the bottom.
Yes.
Okay.
Hey, bust up.
Hey.
Nice. Well done.
Okay.
I'm going to let you guys finish this step.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay. But you have that semicircle.
In hand.
Or quarter
yes.
circle, yeah. Okay. So you're going to want to cover one of the highest planks with it, like connect it,
Okay.
and also have it so it it connects to the 2 with the overhang ramp.
Okay, if I'm looking at it, is the sort of wing part of the curve,
Yeah.
if you can picture that, is that facing north?
North. No, it's facing south.
It's facing south.
Yeah.
All right.
And this is connecting that assembly, that sub-assembly to the main assembly.
Okay. And the point of the rhombus and that little ramp bit are both facing south as well, correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. Okay. This bad boy, and there is not room. Neat.
Do the rampy bits have pips on top?
The rampy bibs.
Yes. So the blue ramp that you had me attach before, that has 2 pips on top, correct? Looking at the piece with the rhombus.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you're connecting it to those pips.
Okay. And it's supposed to sit flush.
Yeah.
And it's the ramp and the rhombus are definitely on the south side, yeah?
Yeah.
They're definitely facing south.
They're definitely facing south.
Okay. We're in a bit of a pickle here, Logan.
Okay.
Because that little rampy bit, it juts up a little bit.
Yeah. I see that here. Actually, sorry.
Yes.
Maybe I've been telling you the wrong thing.
Then I'm going to stop it here.
Okay.
Okay.
We have not completed that step, and we will have to attempt that at the next build.
I will circle it.
Thank you very much. I mean, you don't have to mark it, I think, at all, but that's fine. So thank you very much, Matthews and Logan, for doing the build.